A Friday Night Live house party celebrating the 2020 Census Count Me In Cuéntame concert series.
You're sitting around with nothing cool left to do, looking for a show that's really all about you. There's a place you can go, it's a thing it can be, it's a world full of possibilities. Wonderama, it's here, it's new, it's all for you. Wonderama, wonder, 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 Wonderama, yeah. Wonder, 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 Wonderama.
Now, here's your host, David Osmond.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Friday night. Welcome to the party. It's a Wonderama house party, and tonight we're featuring an amazing city. Philadelphia is in the house. Tons of friends on the guest list. We're so glad you joined us, so I think it's time to get started. Let's do this. It wouldn't be a house party, of course, without my buddies and co-hosts, Coco and Breezy in New York. What's going on, guys?
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, man, I'm living the dream. It's a beautiful day. How about you guys?
We're awesome. Awesome. We just turned 30 today, so we're pretty excited.
You guys are awesome. You look happier than ever. You always do.
Thank you.
Bright-eyed, big smiles. We're talking about Philadelphia today. We're going to be featuring a lot of cool people there, a lot of amazing talent, really influential people. What is your experience with Philadelphia? You guys travel there a lot?
Yeah, we've been to Philadelphia a few times. We DJ'd some really cool shows there. I have some of my most favorite vegan restaurants that I visit in Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Your song, Convo, is just blowing up. Huge. Tell me about that. It's got to be exciting, right?
You know, it's exciting. We just released a song about a month ago. We're at 700,000 plus streams.
That's
amazing.
amazing.
It feels unreal, but one thing I want to say is that things take time. We worked on that song for a year until it got to a good place. Mm-hmm. So patience is key.
Yeah. We're talking especially to the kids of Philadelphia about the census. This is, the once every 10 years it comes around. And the next time it comes around, these kids won't be kids anymore. So why do you think it's important that the kids of Philadelphia get counted in the census?
Well, kids need to have their voices heard in order to make positive change.
Absolutely.
And it's so important right now because being counted in the census is important because in order to make change, everyone needs to be counted. For us to know who needs to be counted, we need everyone to fill out the census, And I think that for us, as you know, we're super advocates about making change in these communities because we're those girls and we are those girls and this is us, right? And so making change is important. Everyone fill out the census. It needs to happen.
You guys make such a positive change in the lives of kids, too. Not only sharing your story, about when you guys were kids and some of the stuff that you went through, the hard things, you share that openly, and it changes lives, and it's so inspiring. It's so cool.
Thank you so much.
Well, we're going to get right to Philly. We're going to feature some of our guests and our friends, so we're going to get right to it. What do you say?
Let's go.
Let's go, Philly.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Let's do this.
Hi, Senator Mark Warner. If you've got a little bit of time that you're now teleworking or telecommuting, please take that time, fill out this form, go to 2020census.gov to make sure that you're counted. This directly relates to the level of federal dollars and other support that will come to Virginia, that will come to your city, that will come to your community. Your vote, your voice, your family need to be counted.
Count me in.
My next guest today is an 18-year-old actress and singer known for her role on the kids show Lazy Town. She's active on social media, has a YouTube channel where she documents her life. Super interesting, so cool. We're glad she's here at the Wonderama house party. Please welcome my friend Chloe Lang.
Hello,
Chloe.
everyone. Hello.
Hi. As a singer, as an actress, you're 18 years old, but you've done this at a very young age. For the kids that are watching, that recognize you, that watch you on TV and movies and everything like that, what advice can you give them that might want to get into the business? What do you think?
My biggest advice is that being in this business is definitely not the easiest thing, but it's so worth it and it's so much fun. And if you truly love it and you have a passion for it, stick with it because I promise you it will pay off in the end and you will love it. So just, don't forget that passion, and don't let any of the outside people telling you that you won't make it in this. Just block out everyone else that doesn't believe in you and just strive for what you want.
That's great advice. You just released a new single. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so I have a new single out on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube, and it's called Is It Love? And it's one of my favorite singles that I've ever released, so I hope everyone else really enjoys it too.
That's cool. We have to check that out for sure. Is it love?
It is.
It is love, absolutely. You mentioned it's not your first single. You've been doing music for a while.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy about being a music artist as well as an actress? What do you think?
One of my favorite things about music is that ever since I was really young, and I think it kind of goes hand in hand with my dancing, music just makes me feel something, and it's kind of like a feeling that, nothing else can compare to. So when I'm singing, when I'm playing my guitar, when I'm in the studio, when I'm jamming out to other people's songs, it's just like a little escape from reality. And one of my favorite parts about music is that it can change your mood. So whatever you decide to listen to, whatever you want to sing about, you can truly believe that. So I just love being able to have that creative outlet, and especially the platform that I have, being able to share it with so many people and get really cool feedback. It's awesome.
That's great. That's awesome. And it's a great way to express yourself. It sounds like you're writing, you're doing a full artistry. We are in a great time in our nation to be able to be counted and to count our family members. It's a census year. Every 10 years we have the census. Why do you think it's important to do the census and be a part of it?
I think it's really important to take part in the census and be a part of it myself, because it makes sure that everyone in your community is accounted for, and that way we can get the proper funding, the proper resources, and just make sure that everyone has what they need. And like people say, if they don't know that you're not there, they can't do anything for you. So it's really important that everyone is accounted for so that we can have the best opportunities possible.
Very well said. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for that message. We really appreciate you coming at the Wonderama House Party and sharing your talents, singing some songs for us. Is It Love? We got to check that one out. And all your projects, fantastic. Well, and we can find you at the house party. You're welcome anytime. Come on back, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Hi, this is Councilmember Jenny Welsh, reminding you how important it is that you and your friends get counted in the census. Census numbers are used for so many things, like how many representatives your state will have in Congress, how much federal money will come to your school district, and even how much money your city would get if you had a natural disaster, like a tornado or a flood. Completing the census takes just minutes, but its impact is felt for years to come. It only happens once every 10 years, so make sure that you get counted and remind everybody you know to get counted too.
Count me in!
Okay, you guys, I'm so excited. One of our hosts for the Wonderama House Party is none other than Wynton Marsalis, the artistic director of Jazz at Lincoln Center. He's a Grammy and Pulitzer Prize winner and has produced over 100 records selling over 7 million copies. We're happy to have him to the house party. Wynton Marsalis, the man, the legend. How you doing?
Man, it's a pleasure to be here talking with you. How you feeling tonight?
I'm very blessed. We're having a house party over here. We're so glad you could join us, man.
Hey, man, I'm happy to be here.
Okay, Wynton, you've been bringing some really cool talent with you each week, and you have someone exceptional today, Anthony. Can you tell me about him?
Anthony Hervey, South Florida, absolute soul on the trumpet. Plays with very clear ideas, plays with a deep, deep church feeling. Anthony is one of the most kindest, deepest, most humane people you will ever meet. Students that went to school with him in Juilliard, one of them said that when they saw his name on a roster, it made their entire day better, knowing they would sit in a rehearsal with him. He's a composer, he's a teacher, and he is an unbelievably clear, beautiful trumpet player of the first magnitude. Y'all are in for something. Hervey.
I can't wait. Thank you, Wynton, for the introduction. Anthony, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm here in South Florida. Really excited to be on the show and to be here. Thank you for having me.
You went to school at Juilliard, man. What is that like?
That was an amazing experience, and I miss it now that I just graduated. I miss it so much because I learned so much from my teachers there. I got to meet all these incredible musicians. And Juilliard, it was just a place that I always wanted to go from a young age. So I was glad that I actually got to be there.
And you got your bachelor's and your master's from Juilliard, is that right?
Correct.
Unbelievable. That's excellent. Congratulations. You just graduated.
Yes.
Fantastic, man. What are your influences musically?
Well, definitely Wynton is one of my favorite trumpeters.
Yeah.
I also you gotta love Louis Armstrong. He's, he kind of sets the bar for all of us. I'm also really into Nina Simone. She's an incredible artist, and Duke Ellington. Those are some of my greatest influences.
Awesome. Now, there's kids watching you right now from all over the world, and they're looking up to you saying, man, I wish I could have the talent that you got. I want to do what you do. What advice would you give to these kids?
I would say follow your passion, and then once you find your passion, make sure you work hard, and then always stay humble.
Great advice. I love that. It's a census year. Why do you think the census is important?
Well, it's important that you make your voice heard, because your response to the census, it actually informs the allocation of federal funds to communities across the country. So those funds can be used for things like schools, public transportation, the arts. So you have a chance to improve your community. So your voice counts, and it's important.
Important for a lot of things, and for us, especially the music programs, right? For sure. Mm-hmm. Now, I love talking to you, but I really want to hear you play. I understand you're going to play something for us. Tell us about it.
So I'm going to play a song by this incredible pianist from Philly, McCoy Tyner. We just lost him this year, but he left behind an incredible legacy. He's known for playing with John Coltrane's quartet. He released a whole bunch of incredible albums as a leader. And so this is a song he wrote, and it's about his mother's beauty shop in Philly that he used to play at. So this is Blues on the Corner.
Awesome. Blues on the Corner. Take it away.
Joining me on the piano, a good friend of mine from Philly and an incredible pianist, Joe Block. Enjoy.
Anthony, man, that was amazing. Thank you so much, dude. You are so talented. I can tell you spent a lot of time honing your craft there.
Yes.
Awesome, and thanks for sharing that song. That's a great tune. Anthony Hervey, everybody, thanks for joining the Wonderama House Party today. You can come back anytime, okay?
Thank you. Thanks.
All right.
Hello from Brookville, Pennsylvania. We're here to tell you that there are 3 ways you can do your census.
You can do it online.
Or by phone.
Or you can mail your census in.
Thanks, neighbors!
My next guest is here to share with us the importance of the census. He is the Director of Special Projects at the Office of Mayor Andy Burke in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Please welcome to the house party, Tyler Yunt. What's going on, Tyler?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. We're having a party over here. How about in Chattanooga?
Oh man, we're loving life from home, but we're having a good time.
Never a dull moment, right?
That's right.
Now, you're the director of special projects at the Census. What do you do for your job? What is that?
So the way that I like to describe city government to people is we do everything basically that you see in your neighborhood, paving roads, picking up trash, all that type of stuff. But sometimes we get harder problems to solve, like how are we going to get folks without housing into homes?
Yeah.
How are we going to transform this, transform that? And so we find the best way to do that. And I help the mayor launch some new things to help people.
You also love the community that you're in. You love Chattanooga. You love this project of the Census. Why is it so important?
So every 10 years, we count every single person who lives in the U.S. And it's called the Census. And in the old days, what we used to do is we would actually send out like an army of people to go to every single place that somebody lives, and they would knock on the door and count every person that lived there, including the kids. But now we do things a little bit differently. We count people online, we count people over the phone, and we still count people door to door. And so that's really what the heart of the census is it helps us know who's living in our communities and a lot more.
Yeah? Why do you need to know how many people are living in a community?
Well, first off, it just helps you learn more about your neighborhood. But there's lots of important things that we do with census information, like we determine how much money your school gets, how much money your neighborhood's going to get for roads, how much money hospitals are going to get, where we need to build new schools, where we need to build new hospitals, and all the things that take care of you and your neighbors and your family. And so a lot of times we see people like your next door neighbor might use this information to say, hey, we need to bring a new business here, or we need more houses in this neighborhood, or we need more resources to make our neighborhood better. And that's probably the biggest part of why we use the census.
Cool. And it happens only every 10 years, so that's a long time between counting. A lot of money gets lost if you don't count right. You know what I mean?
That's right. And imagine how things are going to change in your neighborhood when you're 10 years older. Imagine your baby brother or sister 10 years from now. You're going to need to make sure every single person in your home gets counted so that you have a good future.
Well, thank you. Thank you for making this a fun interview as well and sharing the good news of the census. Tyler Yunt, thank you so much for joining the house party. And keep up the good work.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, this is James Moat from Cameron County. Stand up and be counted. Get out and fill out your census report.
Count me in.
My next guest today was a member of the 2016 U.S. Olympic fencing team, as well as the 2018 World Championship team that was ranked #1 in the world. Please welcome to the Wonderama house party our good friend, Kat Holmes.
Hey, great to be here.
What's up, Kat? How you doing today?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
Oh, best day of my life. This is so cool to have you here at the house party. You are so cool. You're a fencer, a world championship fencer. Did you always know you were going to be a fencer? That's amazing.
So, yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I played a lot of other sports, you know, but soccer, swam, tennis, I mean, whatever. Like, I played it, but I was also a big nerd and loved medieval times and sword fighting, and I really wanted to sword fight. And so I told my parents, you know, I want to sword fight, I want to fence. Like, how can I do this? And they were like,
what?
So I lived in D.C. There are 2 clubs kind of around me. We just went to the one that was closer, and I just loved it from day one. You know, I wasn't very good at the other sports that I played. I wasn't even worse at fencing, but I just loved it. So I did it more and more and more, and with that came getting better in the results.
You know, kids pick up sticks on the playground, and they pretend like they're sword fighting and stuff. I guarantee nobody messes with you on the playground.
Nobody messes with me on the playground anymore, that's for sure.
No way. Now, there's different styles of fencing, as I understand it. Would you tell us about that?
Sure. So there's foil, épée, and saber. So I fence épée. That's this guy right here.
Oh,
so the rules with épée are you can hit anywhere on the body, from the head to the foot, anything. Anything is target, and you hit with the point right here.
Whoa.
So you have to compress that point down to score a touch.
So there's a lot of skill required in this particular one, épée.
Yeah, so I mean, fencing obviously requires a high level of physical fitness, endurance, and strength, but they call it the chess of sports because it takes so much strategy. Everybody at the highest level has that physical capability. It's really the strategy that one uses that really takes you to the top. So it's a lot of thinking.
That's cool. You are wearing that USA sweatshirt right now, which is so cool because you were on the U.S. Olympic team. What is that like to walk in those opening ceremonies?
The Olympics was by far and away the most amazing experience of my life.
Yeah.
But I actually didn't walk in the opening ceremonies because I competed the very first day of the Olympics.
Oh,
and I
really?
spent 4 years getting ready for the event. So I didn't want to stay up late. I didn't want to tire myself out because the opening ceremonies is a long show.
Yeah,
So I watched a little bit of it on TV and then got a good night's sleep before my event.
Amazing. But to be there representing your country, what a thrill, right? Is that a dream come true?
Yeah, I mean, to be among the best of the best, not just in my sport, but really the best athletes in the world, and to be just surrounded by them constantly was just amazing. I mean, it was a dream come true. I mean, it really felt like, all right, like I'm here, like all that working, since I was 9 years old, like I'm here at the Olympics.
What an amazing experience. You not able to be there physically for the opening. What about the closing ceremonies?
Oh, I was there for the closing.
Yeah.
And actually, there's a part of the closing ceremony that, of all the kind of traditions that kind of echo within the Olympic movement, really has inspired me, in the past and in the present to kind of keep working in the future. At the closing of the ceremonies, when the president of the International Olympic Committee extinguishes the flame, he issues what's called the call to the youth of the world. And he says, I call upon the youth of the world to assemble in 4 years' time. And this time he said in Tokyo, Japan, for the next Olympic Games. And that always makes my skin tingle. And at the closing ceremonies, everybody that's won a medal wears their medal around their neck. And when I was sitting there listening to Thomas Bach, he's the current president of the International Olympic Committee, say that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to be there next time when he says this in Tokyo, but this time I'm going to have a medal around my neck.
Oh, it's awesome. I'm getting goosebumps just listening to you. What an amazing experience. Congratulations on all your success. You represent the USA in so many ways. This year for the United States is a big year for Census. What do you think about the census?
I mean, it's one of the most important things that our country does because we get a sense of who we are. America is known as this great melting pot, and we want to know what makes that up, what makes us so great. So it's really important to get that data so that we have that info.
Thank you for representing. It is super important, and we appreciate you sharing your talents. Way to represent USA and also the World Championships. You're #1. Congratulations on that. And thanks for joining us at the Wonderama House Party today. You can come back anytime.
All right, thanks for having me.
Thanks so much. Kat, you're the best.
I'm Janae Chizik Aguero, founder of Motivo's bilingual magazine. Philadelphia, complete the 2020 census and get the funding and services our city deserves.
My next guest today is the founder of the Congress Heights Arts and Culture Center. She's also a tattoo artist, graphic designer, news producer, published fashion stylist, photographer, and gardener, and proud mother of 2. She does it all. Welcome to the Wonderama House Party, Kiana Jones.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show, Kiana. How's it going where you are? You're in D.C., is that right?
I'm in D.C., so it's interesting climate here, but everything's good. We're happy.
That's cool. What do you love most about living in the nation's capital?
I think it's busy. It's not too busy. It's not like New York busy, but it's just busy enough. I think my favorite part is the free museums. We have great museums here, and they're free. So That's probably the best part.
Tell us about the Congress Heights Arts and Cultural Center. What is that?
Yeah, so Congress Heights Arts and Cultural Center is my other baby. We actually just turned 5 years old on the 1st, August 1st. So which is really exciting. We are a multitude of things, just like I guess I am. We're an art gallery first and foremost, so we support local artists and give them a solo exhibition space, which is really rare in art galleries. They want to put you with a bunch of different artists, but we really value seeing one artist, seeing their work, and seeing their growth over time. On top of the art gallery, we are a program space, so we do programming, I say, from ages 5 to 105, because we think someone can fit somewhere in that range. From yoga to sister circles. We've had digital art classes. We've had paint classes. Anything you can think about, we have a class for it almost. It has really become really a catalyst for so many things in our community. We live in a neighborhood that isn't as lucky or as privileged as other parts of our city. So it really gives people a sense of honor and just a place where they can express.
Thank you for being such an advocate for so many people, including kids. This is a big year for the kids to really speak up, be counted in the census. Why do you think it's important?
I think it's really important. You know, as I talked about the art gallery really came from who I was as a child. When I was in my neighborhood, there were no spaces where there were art galleries or anything to nurture the spirit of the creative artist that I was growing up as a youth. And I came into the space of feeling like a weirdo because there was just nothing that spoke to me. I felt like I wasn't there. And so I think that is really important when we start talking about census. Census makes sure that people know that you are there and who you are and what you need, what your community needs. And it's really important to make sure that you are counted, because otherwise these resources can't come in. For an organization like me, I'm a nonprofit, you know, even as an artist and doing my own thing, people have to know I'm there so that I can do the things that I need to do for the rest of my community. So when there's grant money that's coming in to fund the work that we want to do, they know that we're around. When there's, you know, developers come in and try to make our neighborhood look prettier, they know what we need and what we don't need. And so I think it's really important for kids to really get involved and understand that they're not going to be kids forever. 10 years is a long time. A lot can happen between those counts, and that's a lot of money and resources that can get misallocated. It doesn't go to the right places. Thanks for being such an advocate, such a true artist. Keep making your noise. Keep being such a great champion for so many people. Thank you so much, Kiana. God bless you. Take care. All right, see you.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. This is Stephanie with HandsOn Nashville, and we are so proud to be partnering with the Census to get everyone counted for 2020.
Count me in.
My next guest is only 8 years old, but she is an amazing opera singer, and she sings in 6 languages. Incredible. She's our dear friend. Please welcome to the Wonderama house party, Victory Brinker.
Hi,
Victory.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Victory. Thank you so much for coming on the house party today.
Thank you.
Now, you're an opera singer. That's amazing. Most 8-year-olds, in fact, probably all 8-year-olds that I know, are not opera singers. So how did you become an opera singer?
One day I asked my mom if she could show me a person who could sing the highest note, and I said I wanted to sing opera, and then 3 weeks later, she got me in my first talent show, and I won it. And 3 months later, I got to sing at Carnegie Hall.
What? It happened that fast? In just a matter of weeks and months, you're a superstar?
Yes.
I don't know most people who have ever sung at Carnegie Hall, let alone an 8-year-old. You're amazing. There's a lot of kids that are watching you right now going, wow, I can't believe she is an opera singer. And maybe they want to be an opera singer. What advice would you give to kids watching today that want to be a singer like you?
Work hard and keep trying.
Is it a lot of hard work?
Yes.
What is the best part about being a singer?
The challenge of singing the really high notes and getting to learn all the different languages.
Yeah, you speak so many languages. You sing in, is it 6 languages?
Yes.
Can you name all 6? Can you tell us which ones you sing in?
English, Latin, French, Italian, German, and Spanish.
No way. And English, right?
Yeah.
I'm still learning English. I can't believe you sing in 6 languages. That's amazing. I got to ask you, because this is a big year for what's called the census. Now, for you, Victory, why is the census important?
Because it helps families in our community and schools and other activities for kids.
Yeah, it really does. We all get counted, and we all count on each other, don't we?
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate your confidence and you coming on this show and sharing your message with the kids, but also sharing your music. I can't wait to hear you sing. What are you going to sing?
Nessun Dorma.
It's like my favorite opera song. I can't wait to. Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. It's a hard piece to sing. But you got this.
It's hard to learn, but I still love it.
Boom. I cannot wait to hear you do it. Will you sing for us right now? Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, everybody. Victory Brinker singing Nessun Dorma, the opera classic. Take it away. Victory Brinker! Oh my goodness, you are so amazing. Thank you for sharing that song. It's one of my favorites.
You're welcome.
Hey, you can come on that with the Wonderama house party or the Wonderama show in general anytime that you want, okay?
Thank you for having me on the show.
Hello, I'm Representative Abigail Spanberger, and I'm calling on everyone in Virginia to complete the 2020 census today. Don't be left out. You and your family can go to my2020census.gov today and make sure you are counted.
My next guest today is an 18-year-old pop artist, singer, songwriter. She's getting ready to release her first single. Please welcome to the Wonderama house party, Emily Ray.
Hello, everybody.
What's going on, Emily? How you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you?
It's the best day of my life. Every day. And I mean it, seriously. And it's good to be able to connect with you, albeit you're over on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I'm all the way over here on the West.
Yeah, I wish we were in person, but this is definitely really cool.
I'm glad we're able to do this. Thank you for making the time to come out and share with us a little bit about what you're doing during all this craziness. You're a music artist, you're a singer, you've been singing your whole life, you're 18, but you started when you were young, I'm sure. How old were you?
I started when I was about 7 years old, performing on stages when I was 8, so.
What music inspires you?
What music inspires me? That's a great question. Probably a lot of older stuff. I listen to a lot of Journey and Led Zeppelin, a lot of Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
Yes, and then some newer artists. I've always been inspired by Ariana Grande, and I grew up as my role model was Carrie Underwood, so her as well.
It's always amazing to connect with people that you look up to, inspire, and there's kids that look up to you and are inspired by you. What advice would you give as a mentor to them who may want to go into the music business, want to become singers?
I would say just find the one thing that you do that you're amazing at and stick to that. Don't try so hard to do every single thing possible that you can. Just really stick to what you believe in and what you're great at, and really go for that, and push that as much as you can to everyone, and just exude love and happiness and positivity, and you'll attract the people that believe in that stuff too. So
I love that. That's the key, just like your earrings.
Yes, just like the earrings.
You've got some upcoming projects coming out, a new single. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I have a new single coming out soon at the end of August. It's called Make It Up. It's about quarantine. It's about love in quarantine. The general idea of the song, without giving too much of it away, is pretty much just saying, my love for you isn't going to go away, and don't worry, like, we'll make this all up when we can. Kind of like, because you can't see each other. So
I love that. This too shall pass, and then we'll get to hang.
Exactly, yes.
Thank you for coming on to this particular show. We're featuring a lot of friends and talented people like yourself to talk to families and people all over the country, especially kids, about the importance of the census. Why do you think it's important for kids to be counted in the census?
Well, I mean, I think it's really important, actually, for kids to be counted in the census. And, I mean, the things that they can, it's really important for me to talk about the things that they can do. Like, you can talk to your parents, and obviously your parents most likely know about the census. But kids in schools really aren't taught about it at all. So it's really important that they see these kinds of videos and share them with their friends on Instagram, on Facebook, talk about it, make a TikTok about it. And then make sure you talk to your parents and say, like, I want my voice to be heard. I want me as an individual to count in this crazy world, especially with everything going on. It's important to start out young. So to make sure that, like, your parents know, I want to be counted. Well, since I got you and you got all your home studio right there, would you mind singing a song for us? We would love that. Of course, I would love that. Awesome. Okay, what are you going to sing for us? I'm going to do a cover of Valerie. It's my favorite song to sing, so. Is it really? Amy
Yes,
Winehouse? Yes,
My
Amy
wife's
Winehouse.
name is Valerie. I'm going to love this. I got to share this with her. Awesome. Go ahead. Take it away.
All right, let's go.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things of what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. Since I've come on home, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like your dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Hey, Valerie.
Emily Ray singing Valerie. I love it. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing that song with us today.
Of course, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining the house party today. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
God bless you. Talk to you soon.
Hi, I'm Jerry Saunders Sr., and I'm shouting out to all of Ohio, especially Columbus. Complete your 2020 census today.
Count me in.
Are Our next guest today is an author, anti-violence activist, grassroots organizer, and Black Men and Boys Commissioner for Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, the delegate to the U.S. House of Representatives for the District of Columbia. Please welcome to the Wonderama House Party, Ron Moten. What's going on, Ron?
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for taking the time to come on and be with us at this house party to talk about some really cool things. You've been involved in public service, as I hear, your whole life. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Well, for the last 27 years.
And you're 28 years old, so that's perfect. Yeah, your whole life. What drove you to get involved as much as you are in public service?
Well, I was exposed to people in the civil rights movement. And at one point in my life, I was like a detriment to the community. And when I changed my life around and became a public servant, I was inspired by the work that I've seen others do before me that gave a lot of us the opportunities that we have now. So I've always been about closing the gap in the disparities and injustices that we see in our community.
Very cool. Thanks for being such an advocate, man. Seriously. That's awesome. Tell me about this organization, Check It Enterprises. I hear it's super cool. Tell me about that.
So basically, Check It Enterprises was an organization that was formed. I took former gang members who were LGBTQ who started a gang to kind of fight back against being attacked in Washington, D.C. And we started a business, and it's gone from a t-shirt line to a social enterprises that gives back to the LGBT community and help uplift the LGBT community, also uplift returning citizens within the community when they come home from prison.
Wow, that's amazing. That's an amazing story.
And now we own 3 buildings on Martin Luther King Avenue in Southeast Washington, D.C., where we're building a go-go museum, and we're having a performance space and all type of programming for returning citizens in the LGBT community.
That's so awesome. You're such a busy guy doing so many things. How would you encourage others, especially like kids watching, how would you encourage kids to get more active in their community?
Well, just like the young people I was working with, you have to decide whether you're going to be a resident or a citizen. A resident is somebody who resides and let other people make decisions for them. A citizen is somebody who practices citizenship and makes sure they're involved with everything that happens in their community, and they make sure the laws and policies affect them in the right way and also helps uplift humanity for everybody.
What's some advice that you might give to someone that might want to go into your line of work? What can you give? What kind of encouragement can you give them?
I just say it's real simple. One of the things the civil rights leader taught me to work with Martin Luther King, he said, do the right things for the right reasons and you get the right results. So whatever you do in your heart, just do it for the right reasons and stick with it, and you will get the outcomes that you want. It might take longer than you wanted to, but just when it seems like everything is bleak and you're not going to win the battle, you win.
Yeah.
Long as you don't give up.
I love that. I absolutely love that. The right things for the right reasons. Well, some of the right things right now, we're talking about the census, you know? It's an interesting topic. It only comes around once every 10 years. Why is the census so important?
Well, like where I live in Washington, D.C., for instance, there is one of the cities with the biggest gap as far as the disparities, right? And when we don't fill out our census form, the gap widens it even more. And you're talking about for 10 years, your hospitals, your transportation, and services and things like that for people who are in need, but also just to make sure we have the quality of life that we're looking for. So if we want to close these disparities, it's not just about getting to the streets. It's about filling out that census form and making sure that we close the gap with resources that our families are paying for.
Thank you for making such a big difference in this world, Ron. We appreciate you. God bless you, brother.
Thank you. God bless you too.
Hello, from Nashville. I am Yuri from the Nashville Area Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and I'm working to get our community counted in the Census 2020. Shape your future.
Count me in!
Our next guest today is an advocacy worker who's held various civic roles over her career. She's currently Executive Director for Philly Counts 2020. Please welcome to the Wonderama House Party, Stephanie Reed. What's up, Stephanie?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining us all the way from Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's right. It's so
City of
exciting
brotherly
to be on
love.
the
You
show.
feeling in love?
Yeah.
This is a big year for the census. You got Philly 2020. That's pretty awesome.
That's right.
Tell me about Philly 2020.
So our office was created by the mayor about 2 years ago,
And we are responsible for making sure that every single person in the whole city gets counted, which is a really big deal. The census is the only time that we count everybody. So it's a big, big effort, but it's been a whole lot of fun.
Why so important for Philly specifically?
Well, it's important for Philly specifically because we know that we already have a hard time paying for education. Education is a big one. And I think especially all the kids watching, you guys know how important it is to get a good education. And having the right amount of funding for our schools is critical. And in Philadelphia, we already work so hard to make sure that we have enough money. So we can't afford to lose even a penny that we're supposed to have in the city.
In general, for the nation, the Census 2020, why so important? We do it every 10 years. Why?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that you'll hear that are absolutely true. It's representation, right? That's how we determine how many members of Congress we have. We have a constant number of members of Congress in our country, and where they are changes based on the numbers. So that matters a lot. And you'll hear a lot about funding, and funding has always been tied to census data, but I do think it's important to stress that as we're coming through COVID and we're looking at recovery from this, that all of those recovery funds are going to be tied to census data. So it is so, so important that we know how many people we have in our cities so that we get the right amount of funding to recover from COVID.
That's exactly right. Thank you. That message is powerful. Stephanie Reed, thanks for doing what you do, being such an advocate for all of us, especially those that are right there in Philadelphia. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. You come back anytime.
Hey, I'm Congressman Don Beyer from Alexandria, Virginia. Don't miss out. Take part in the 2020 census.
What is the 2020 census? Every 10 years, the census records everyone living in this country. It's written in the Constitution and comes in a questionnaire that counts everyone who lives at your address on April 1st. The data can be used to inform funding for services like fire stations, schools, clinics, and representation that affect your community.
Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
Well, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us at the Wonderama House Party. I want to thank all my guests for being here today. It's been a blast. I'm David Osmond, reminding all of you to never, ever lose your sense of wonder. And I hope I can count on you to be part of the 2020 census. You can count me in.
There's a place you can go, it's a thing it can be, it's a world full of possibilities. Wonderama. It's here, it's new.